everybody, my name is Tony, and I'm a reseller based out of the 757 Hampton Roads area. Here we go into one of my favorite thrift stores, or as I like to say it, Woos. First here, they always seem to have a lot of video games, but a lot of comics as well. This one right here is not doing very well when it comes to the comps. As you can kind of see in the background there's a few more others that I really didn't have a need for. I did end up picking up this one. And again, this is not really a dig at them for their prices. They're really good prices, but not a lot for me to actually sell and make a good profit. Most of them were $2.99, but some were as high as $10.99. Kingdom Hearts 2, I ended up buying this one as well. I think they had $2.99 on it. I know you can't hear it right now, but they got some pretty good Christmas music in the background. This right here is, I believe, Final Fantasy 12, but it was in some kind of reused container, like something from a video store. I ended up putting it back because it wasn't really going to do any good for me as far as good resale. This store used to be my gold mine, but now they kind of started going to more computers and less video games. I was actually surprised they had this many video games out. Must be a Christmas special. So I go in the back corner. Oh wait, I go in the back corner because over here is where they actually have their consoles. But I start looking at the prices, and they were very much priced what I would probably sell them for, and some a little higher. $2.99 for a Wii. I mean, you are getting 40 games, but most of them are common games, and not a lot of meat on the bone there for resale. Here's what I really like to do when I go to the stores. Go to this section. They have a lot of vintage and a lot of just unusual electronics. And sometimes, like this right here, I pick something up that looks like it's pretty good when it comes to comps. I try not to bore you too much with looking up everything, but to be honest, I'm still new in this reselling game here. I've been doing it strong for about 3.5 months, and I do this part time, so it's not a full time gig just yet. So I'm doing a lot of learning, a lot of searching, a lot of watching videos myself. And one thing I can definitely tell you is it comes with experience when you find different stores and you find what to look for and what not to look for. So I've come to the store many times and bought electronics, and some work and some don't, and you just kind of got to get a feel for it. This right here was actually a pretty decent comp, but the problem was they wanted as much as the comp was, so not a lot of money to be made right there. And then also, I don't think you see it. I kind of opened the box a little bit, and didn't seem like everything was really in the box that should be in the box. Again, I'm kind of looking around, trying to see if I can find anything that's unusual or just seems pretty cool to even want to have a chance to look up. Right here, I'm looking at different options. Right there, you can see a recipe, a digital recipe, electronics right there. Again, not too bad when it comes to the comps, but again, they're asking so much for it. But right there, you can see sometimes you miss something. I should have got that printer server right there. Hopefully, maybe when I go back, it might be there. They had a pretty low price on it, and I could probably make about $20 to $30 after shipping. I look up this mouse. I've had some pretty good experiences of selling used mice, especially when it comes to some vintage ones or trackballs. You look out for those. I just sold one trackball that I bought for 50 cents, and I sold it for $30. So now every time I get a chance and I see a cool mouse or something that looks unusual, I always look it up and see what the comps are. Now over here is where they normally have their audio and video equipment. We got some really cool vintage electronics, but the problem is, again, the pricing was a little high. Again, I normally come to this store and the prices aren't this high. Again, they're not high as when it comes to as far as for personal purchase. They're actually really good prices, but when it comes to reselling, it's just not a lot of meat on the bone for me to take and flip. I kind of go back and look over the video games once more just to make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm always looking for that holy grail of games. So this is a really unique um, Goodwill. One side has electronics, kind of like a separate store, and then right here you can see I'm actually going to the main store itself. And if I would have went to the right, they actually have a outlet bin side as well. So you kind of get a little flavor for everything you're looking for, or whatever kind of style you like to actually thrift. Or again, as I like to say, go woo shopping. So right here is the new cart for some new shoes. To be honest, I'm still kind of green when it comes to shoes. They've been hit or miss for me right now. But I still go look. I'm constantly learning, constantly looking. Because you never know what shoes you may find that might be worth a profit to flip. I have done very well with some boots though, when it comes to finding Uggs. And recently I found a pair of Harley Davidson boots, and those go pretty good, you know, as far as flipping and making a profit. Again, I'm kind of looking at the boots, seeing if I can see anything. But one thing I learned from the pro picker, Dustin, who probably doesn't know, but he's kind of a mentor to me right now, is once you hit the store, go to what you're looking for first, and then kind of start from there. So even though I started, because I saw a couple of things that caught my eye, I go to where I know I need to go in the store. And right here I see a little Darth Vader voice changer or something, and I don't even really look it up. I just know it looks cool, and it seemed to work okay. So in the basket that goes. The price was right. And then I head straight to the electronics section. But of course, I do kind of see at the corner of my eye the new baskets that are out. But I try to keep focused and actually get to the electronics section. So here, even though they have an electronic store, they always have an electronic section, which seems to be better when it comes to prices. This right here, this Sony, I see the comps for these, and they go for some pretty good money. So I think if I get this one right here, I should be able to flip it for about $40, $45 profit. Of course, that's with shipping. The main thing when it comes to electronics is if you have a chance to, always plug them up. Always try to check and see if they actually work. For the main reason you want to do that is a lot of these thrift stores, depending on where you go, may not let you bring back electronics, or they may not let you exchange or get store credit. So if they allow you to plug it up or already have a plug available, go ahead and plug those in. This store is not really that bad. I haven't had any bad experiences as far as buying anything that didn't work. But you never know. I see a plug there. That's some kind of knockoff robot floor cleaner that wasn't in the box. Let's go ahead and test this baby. Let's see. Do we have power? Yes, we have power. And actually, I've already got this at home and had it hooked up, and it sounds amazing. And again, I should make a pretty good profit on that. Another tip that I got from a few of the Pro Picker and the NC Picker is buying food processors and things of that nature, even when they may not work, but to part them out. And with that little advice, I've already did very well with some part outs in the tune of about $50 and $60 profit for 2 boxes that didn't work at all, but they had the right accessories and they were the right price. So this was a sleeping bag. Something else I try to look out for, because you never know, they can be very, very high quality and you can get a pretty good dollar for them. I'm really green when it comes to golf clubs. Every time I look at them, I want to pull the trigger, but so far I've only had experience in selling one golf club, and it was a pain to ship. I know I probably did it the absolute wrong way, but I got to make sure I get more educated before I actually start messing with golf clubs. So here is a spot where I'm also very comfortable with, is the toy section. Right here I see a little leapfrog thing. I try to look for things that's already, or that's still sealed. I mean, that's always a good chance to flip something like that if it's brand new. But I'm looking at the board games, seeing if I can see any vintage or antique type board games, or just something that just seems unusual or just pretty cool. Again, for the right price, you can make a pretty good buck. Here's a pretty old looking game, but once I kind of shook it and used in it real quick, I can tell that it was missing a lot of pieces. One cool thing I can say too, once you start uh, thrifting or reselling, you start meeting other resellers. Just because on the different routes you go, you just happen to see the same people at at the stores that you're going to, and it's kind of a cool community. Um, Everyone's pretty fair and everybody's pretty civil. No one's really being aggressive or anything like that. And it actually was a reseller I met at a store who encouraged me to start my own channel and just told me to go ahead and do it. Don't worry about it and don't wait, just hurt and do it. So this right here is a scanner, brand new in box, not open. That's definitely going into the cart. And to be quite honest, I wanted to sell this, but also I was looking for a scanner for my receipts and for just different things I need to scan. And I figured I'd go ahead and so again, I kind of do a little second check, make sure I'm getting what I think I'm getting. I kind of keep looking for those things. I don't think you can see it, but I just saw what it looks to be a pitching machine, but it's more like a toy. It's not like a official machine. But if I go back and it's there, I might give it a better look. So now I kind of look at the hardline things, seeing if I can find any cool mugs or anything that might stand out. Always on the lookout for Starbucks mugs or canteens or tumblers. Love dragons. I have been on the lookout for old Igloo or Coleman thermoses or coolers. Those seem to be going for some pretty good money as well if you can get them for the right price. This right here seems pretty cool. It might be even a little vintage. But I kind of look inside of it and you can tell that there were some pieces missing. Sometimes you can kind of just tell when things are missing, or have a sense where you might want to pull a trigger on it and pay for it and later on do an inventory. But I can tell you from experience, that is a pain in the neck. One thing also I can tell you, as I don't have a lot of space at home, and so when I start looking for things, I become more aware of what to buy and what not to buy. So I'm gun shy on some things. This right here, I can already tell from the kind of box that it's going to be something pretty cool. And I look inside, and it's a bass effect pedal, which is pretty cool because I'm a bass player. So I kind of do a quick look and a quick comp, but I already know from experience that either it's going to comp real well or I'm going to buy it for myself, just to be honest. So I already know that it's going to go into the basket. It's just a matter of, is it going to get in the basket for me or to resell? It is Christmas, so You never know. I think right now would be a great time to say if you like this video, please subscribe. Please like the video. It helps me out a lot. I appreciate you. And of course, if you have any comments, any tips for me, please leave the comments as well. I'm going to read every single one of them, to tell you the truth. I always can learn, I always can get better. Or if you see something that I didn't see and you're like, man, he's an idiot, why didn't he get that? Please let me know that as well. I thought that would be a pretty cool robot, but not the right price for me. Now this right here just looks pretty cool. I couldn't really tell what it was. It looked like handlebars to a bike, but with platforms on them. It was just weird. And I'm like, you know what? I gotta look this thing up. I don't know what it is, but it looks pretty cool. And again, if I see something that looks kind of unique, and especially if it has a tag on it or anything like that, I'm gonna look it up and just see what it is, and I could possibly make a little bit of money on it. But at last, there was no money to be made. And I kind of looked over here and saw a box, and there was nothing in it, and it said replacement mirror. And so I'm kind of looking at it, and I read it. Then I looked at this to the left, and I'm like, okay, is this the replacement mirror? So I kind of started comparing, and this actually was the mirror that was supposed to have been in the box. Someone had took it out, so let me go ahead and help them out and put this back in the box. Now, normally when it comes to something like this, I try to stay away from it, but I was kind of intrigued by it. So I had to go ahead and just check the comps just to see what it was. And actually it wasn't too bad as far as what I probably would have made on it, but I couldn't guarantee that all the parts was actually there. I'm not sure if there was an accessory kit with it or if there were some kind of other connections, because the only thing that was actually there, as you saw, was just the mirror itself. So I didn't want to take a chance on it and not have all the parts and when selling it. Again, these are all lessons learned from previous experiences, that you want to make sure what you're selling has all the parts that is supposed to be included in it. I kind of look at it again because the comps are actually pretty good. But I just really couldn't bring myself to pull the trigger on it. So even though it's in the basket right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and put that back. And again, this is one of my favorite stores. So if